say me praise God straight. Make money, money it has. Fun bad mind. God knows me love woman. Me father him. That's how me man. And the for them a try stop me fly past them straight. Only for them a wicked, some of them in the rate. You know them.
For anybody who know the Caribbean culture, when you want the selector to run back the music and start the record over again, and I say pull up, pull up, pull up. Everybody in the chat to say pull up, because if you're blessed, if you're in this life now, if you're alive to experience whatever you're experiencing, you're blessed. So one time, pull up. If you're blessed, give me a thumbs up. Give me 2 fingers. Give me fire. Give me a black spade. Give me something. For everybody who's alive and well today, I'm thankful for you. Today is a blessed day just because you're alive. Big up yourself if you're in here. Big up yourself. Got a special guest today. Friend to the show, more like family to the show. Shelly Roy, I see you. Heard some great things about you. Can't wait to get to this. This is a very, very special time. This young lady coming to the show today has been doing some amazing, amazing things. And I can't wait to see where she has progressed. For those of you who got little ones, big ones, nieces, nephews, cousins that have graduated, this is big graduation season. Big up to my baby girl. I think she's in here. Big up to you. I'm daddy's proud of you. I'm proud of the nieces, the nephews. I'm proud of my extended family, the young ones, the old ones that's doing their thing in education and in life. And for those of you who know me, Les in the building. Author James Rodman, hottest book out. This is, I was really hoping we ain't had no problems, because the first time.
Oh, the first time it was a mess. It was horrible.
That's an understatement. And so now, it is what it is. It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
I'm trying to fix, because it's different from the live, from the, okay.
Nah, you good. You good. You perfect. You perfect now. So, you know I do a party before the show, and everybody who is new to my show, this is Tuned In with the TKB Report. I'm your host, Mr. 3 Keys. And as you all can tell, I like to set a vibe before we get to it. So, I'm playing some music in the background. This is a gentleman that I came across yesterday, actually, a couple of days ago. Music is fire. He's got a single out, Oceana. His name is Lamar Tyree. Super dope. But that's not what we're going to do today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get to it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are now tuned into the TKB Report, and I'm your host, Mr. 3 Keys. And today's show and today's guest is very special. It's monumental, in a sense, because a year ago, I embarked on this journey to do this show. And she was the first one to agree to start that journey with me. And I'm extremely appreciative of that. And it was June 26th to be exact. And what's today? The 24th? It's 2 days from a year that I started this not knowing what it was going to become, not knowing how it was going to turn out, not knowing how it was going to be received in the infancy stages. But she took a chance on me, you know, being one of the first to tell her amazing story. And for that, I will forever be grateful. So it was only fitting that for the 1 year anniversary, she be the guest of honor. And
Oh,
it's
thank
only fitting that this show be completely dedicated to her. Today is actually her show.
Come on, Kurt. Now you starting already. I don't want to cry.
You know, she is one of the most resilient people. She is one of the hardest working people. She is extremely trailblazing, extremely innovative, creative. Saying extremely creative, I'm trying to find another word. I don't think there's a word in the dictionary that can describe her creativity and her resiliency. She's got a big heart. She is, anyone who knows her, to know her is to love her. During this year, this pandemic, she's gone through quite a bit, but I've never seen her waver. I've seen her reset, and we've all had to do a reset. I think everyone within this past year had to do a reset, and to watch her is extremely inspiring. Young, old, male, female, black or white. I forget what the number of releases that she's had within the fashion game. She currently is diving into another.
Wait, Kurt. I gotta go get some tissue because you didn't tell me you were starting off like this. You
I
didn't
start
tell
every
me.
show. I start every show like this.
So let me go get some tissue real quick. Hold on. Excuse
All right.
me.
All right. So I just want to say this, right? For those of you who are new to the show, welcome to the show. This is Tuned In with the TKB Report. I am Mr. Three Keys, named by the people, Mr. Three Keys. And the first time she was ever on the show, she had to get up and walk away like 2-3 times, even though I said, get all of this. But, whatever. Anyway, so the person that I'm describing that you see on the screen other than myself is none other than Miss Monica, aka Revamped, Monica Thrift Revamped, Mrs. Revamped. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Miss Revamped by me.
Thank you.
Now I'm gonna let the audience continue to show you some love. I'm gonna let the audience continue to show you some love. They're not done yet. They're not done yet. So now that we got that out the way, before we start, is there anything else that you might need?
I might need to put the box of tissue right here next to me, but no, I think I'm fine, Kurt. I think
Is
I'm
that
fine.
is that the same box of tissue that you used to uphold your iPad the last time?
I'm holding up now. I got a makeup case.
Listen, innovative, creative. You make it do what it do when it needs to be done.
I'm gonna get it together.
I tried my best. Dre, I called you earlier for Drunk by Dre's, but I got something different in the cup. If you want some specialty drinks, shout out to Drunk by Dre's. Thank you for everybody that's new to the live, new to the show. I'm extremely appreciative. Make sure you follow me at the TKB Report. All my people that's in here, make sure you follow her at Monica's Thrift Revamped, and also subscribe to her website, revampdbyme.com. So I tried my best to do an intro. Say what's up to the people real quick.
Oh, me?
No, you.
No, sorry, no. I thought you said you gonna say hello everyone. Thanks for joining the live. You could have been doing anything, but you guys are tuned in. I appreciate it, and I'm just so thankful. you know, for everyone who's here, who just took this journey with me, and I'm just grateful and thankful.
Well, I want to start off by saying thank you. It's good to see you as usual. We started this journey a year ago, and I got something for you special. And I don't know if I ever told you how important that was for me, because a lot of times when people are doing things that are new, they don't want to join until they see what the outcome is going to be. And you kind of say, yo, I'm gonna take this risk with you, because it could have been good or bad for you. The experience could have gone either way, and you decided to take that chance. You know, already branded, already established for the most part. I was brand new when I started this. I had like 12 followers. It's not anything ridiculous now, but so I'm extremely grateful and extremely appreciative to you for doing that with me. And when you did that, we hadn't known each other for that long anyway. You know,
Yeah.
to add to that. So thank you for that.
And thanks for Andrea for introducing us. I mean, she must have saw something in you, and she saw something in me, to where though she felt as though this connection was mandatory. So Andrea, I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity and for actually connecting Kurt and I, because without you, this wouldn't be it wouldn't be possible. It wouldn't.
One time for Andrea, one time for Drea, for real. I called you earlier for drinks. We'll talk about that later though. So since we spoke last, you know, that kind of was like an introduction of, you know, what you were doing in the fashion world and whatnot. But you reached out to me not too long ago and you said, yo, I want to go on your show because I want to talk about some things that most people may not want to talk about, some experiences that you had. And you kind of wanted to share your story to be somewhat of more of an inspiration to people than you already are. Talk about what was going on in your life, if you can.
I'll try. You know, I'm a cry.
Yes, you are. When you reached out to me.
It was like around, I know it was sometime last year. Actually, I would say like around this time last year. During the pandemic, you know, I was experiencing, I wasn't sure what it was at first. I just knew like my body and how I was feeling something like wasn't right. Like my thoughts, you know, me having the faith that I have in my God. My thoughts and everything was just off, and I couldn't figure out, you know, like what was going on, or like basically what was going on. So, you know, long story short, last year of 2020, last year around this time, I was experiencing anxiety. You know, I'm sure some of you, my followers, you guys know I had to put up a post on Instagram asking you guys just to be patient with me, just to give me time, because I needed to get my mental together. That was the first time I've ever experienced anxiety. It was the worst feeling in the world. So I reached out to Kurt once I got out of what was trying to get out of those negative thoughts. I reached out to him and I said, Kurt, when you get a chance, you know, I would like to go live and I would like to try to talk about anxiety or just what I went through, because that's something a lot of people don't talk about. And I just wish I had the resources that I'm trying to give to, you know, you guys now to try to help me get through that point in my life, because like I just felt like I didn't want to be here no more. Like my thoughts was just all over. I was just in a dark place, afraid to create, afraid to go outside. You know, I thought I was just gonna die, and just that thought alone, it wasn't a good place to be. So that was just something I wanted to talk about, you know, live, because like I said, not a lot of people talk about it, and it's anxiety. That's something that's real. Like it exists, it's real. And no one is exempt from it. No one at all.
Well, I want everybody to know, right, that as delicate and sensitive as this topic is, I would have never thought to call anyone and say, listen, are you experiencing any, you know, any different feelings? Would you like to talk about it for the masses to hear? And I found it incredibly inspirational that because that takes a lot of strength to recognize what's going on with you, acknowledge what's going on with you, and to acknowledge it for what it is, and to want to speak about a moment that's not so high in your life, so that you can share it to possibly uplift other people with some of your darkest moments. Tell me why exactly, like where does that type of resiliency, where does that type of awareness come from for you to, even in your darkest moments, try to help people?
I guess once I started to address it to the right people, that's the most important thing, you know, because me going through that moment, I felt alone. I felt crazy. I felt like I was losing it. I felt like something was wrong. So once I found the right ear to listen, to me, I noticed that it was common. So for me to be in the darkest spot, that dark spot, and feel alone, like I said, I felt alone because I never heard people talk about it. So the fact that when I started to talk about it and start to reach out to the right people, I knew that I wasn't. So like I said, I just felt as though in that dark moment, gradually as I started to get out of it, I wanted to share this because I felt like I couldn't. And the fact that I leaned on God, and I just had faith, and I had to just keep pushing, and I just used my son as my strength. I knew that it was possible to get out of. So the fact that it was possible to get out of, that's what I want to share, because, you know, a lot of people share the ups, you know, all this. A lot of people share the positives, the good things about the business, but not a lot of people talk about the dark side, the bad side. So, and that's where we all need that help at. So I just felt as though in that dark moment, as soon as I get out of it, as soon as I get out, I'm talking about it because I want to help somebody, because it was hard.
All right, so we're gonna shift gears, because it's just time to shift gears. So, and I'm not dismissing what you're saying.
All right, Kurt, I can just give one shout out.
It's your show. It's your show.
No, because my girlfriend, Tiffany,
okay,
she lived in Virginia.
Okay.
And I called her and I was talking to her about it, you know, just telling her like what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And she drove like 8 hours up here to come get me and my son. She like, you know, like, this is not you. Like, I'm coming to get you. You're gonna be fine. So I just wanted to give her a big shout out, because if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I would have went. So the fact, like I said, that she drove 8 hours to come get me and my son, I'm just thankful, and I'm just forever grateful for her.
Well, I remember, you know, when you were going through what you were going through, you didn't really get into specifics, but I saw the post of you asking your followers, your friends, your family to give you some time.
Yes.
And, you know, I immediately reached out and said, listen, you know, whatever it is, you know, I'm praying for you. And if there's anything that I can do, let me know. And then shortly after that, I remember you being in Virginia. So what's your friend's name?
Mahogany 37, but her name's Tiffany.
Tiffany, shout out to you. Salute to Tiffany for being a good friend, you know, and salute to all of your followers and your family and friends that were there for you in your time of need. And I'm thankful that, you know, you went through what you went through and that you came out of it on the other side. Before I move on, how's the little man doing?
He's doing fine. He's not here though, because I would have been running back and forth.
Yeah.
I would have had a little glass right here if he would have been here. So he's doing fine overall.
Okay, good. So what many people may not know is that you've gone through quite a bit in your life up until this point.
Yes.
Which in my estimation, it kind of prepares you when when you go through next level things, what you went through in the past kind of prepares you what you're gonna go through in the present and the future.
Yes.
Talk about the ability and the art and the skill of taking moments that are not so good and turning them into a positive, because you have indeed mastered that.
Yes, I have, but it's until this day it's still I'm keep getting up because of my light. Until this day it's still a struggle. But all I needed was one situation to know that God was he was in the midst of it. He was just walking me through whatever it was. And once again, that was just me when I was adopted. So I think me overcoming those dark places and those moments when I feel like I can't make it, I have to just remind myself of what once was. I have to remind myself of where he pulled me from. So just knowing that he was able to pull me from this situation, I just gradually try to build my faith up to know, like, Monica, look, he got you out of this. There's no way he pulled you out of this just to allow you to go through this. So me just knowing that he's in the midst of any struggle or any obstacle that I go through, that's what helps me, try to get through those dark moments, knowing that, God is in the midst of it.
So I'm a big Mary J. Blige fan, and I think you are as well. And she has recently been honored at the Hall of Fame. No, at Apollo. She's got like her star on the Walk of Fame at the Apollo. She's Grammy Award winning, Oscar, Tony, all of that, right? She recently, I think tomorrow, she's gonna have a documentary released about the album, the classic album, My Life. And you've divulged some of what you went through as a young star. And I was saying, like, damn, like Mary J. Blige's story, Monica's story, and so many other people's story who have risen from the ashes when people kind of wrote them off and all that they went through. They should have never attained the success that and the greatness that they have. So I think it's a great honor to kind of be in the same company as someone as celebrated as Mary J. Blige, who has gone through pain and suffering and still come out. Like you, I just want to big you up and give you, one of the celebratory for being who you are in spite of.
In spite of, absolutely.
In spite of. So salute to you. Now,
Thank you.
there's one thing that never stopped, and that was your productivity, which I found absolutely amazing. And I would say to myself, like, damn, I'm not big on social media only because I do this. And I say, yo, when does she ever sleep? Like, she is, no matter what's going on, you're gonna find a way to create, damn near push to create the perfect revamped product. Now, my question is, you have indeed taken on the role of boss.
Oh, thank you.
Like, far beyond the term entrepreneur, you are like a real boss. No matter what's going on, that product or service has to be produced or sold or distributed. Where does that hunger and work ethic come from, even when your life seems to be unraveling out of control?
Believe it or not, that's my peace. Like, creating is my peace. Because it keeps my mind going. It just keeps me wondering. It just keeps me going. When I'm not at the sewing machine, and I tried that during my anxiety. Even though I wasn't creating, even though I wasn't posting to sell, I was still creating in my house because at that sewing machine, it was just like my serenity, like my peace, just to see what one thing could turn from, what one thing could turn into another. It was just to see the outcome. I was just excited about that. So believe it or not, I don't stop because, like I said, that's my peace. I relax. I'm just, if I could be there 24/7, I would, and not even just to make money, just because of how it makes me feel on the inside.
So in other words, what you're saying is, and we said it before, Revamped is not just about clothing, and it's not just the name of your brand. It's a lifestyle because you're revamping your pain and suffering and turning it into something completely different than its original form.
Yes.
And I also want to say you have a lot of people that are in here that are showing you nothing but love. And one of them in particular, I want to shout out Shelly M. Roy, the Multrepreneur. She is a talk show
Yes.
host, a fashion stylist, an author. She's a real estate investor, a fit coach. You can follow her at Shelly Roy, CHELLEYROY. She's shedding tears already. You got to knock that off. I don't want anybody in here crying because Monica's going to do enough crying for everybody in the tri-state area. You know what I mean? So let's, shout out to Shelly Roy. Follow her
Yes.
again at Shelly Roy and Shelly Boss Up. CHELLEYBOSSUP.com. All right. Now, talked about COVID. It was a year ago that we embarked on this journey. What are some of the other things that you learned about yourself during this whole experience that is new to everybody in the world that's living right now?
That actually, I didn't know my own strength. I didn't know like how strong I was. I didn't know how powerful I was mentally. That's basically it. Like I didn't realize how strong I was, like mentally, like as far as like trying to get through this anxiety. And like I said, it, don't get me wrong, it's still trying to creep up in, like, and it's something with the summertime, like I don't know if the heat triggers it or something, but from time to time I find myself about to get into those episodes or get into those moments, but I got to talk to myself and just tell myself, like, Monica, they're just thoughts. You got this. You got through it last year. So if this pandemic didn't teach me anything else, like, I thought I was strong at the age of 5 and 7, but I'm strong.
So I'm going to say something, and hopefully this puts you at ease. So, doing my research, doing my work, I looked up, because a lot of people hear this mental health, and and that's something nobody 10, 15 years ago was really focusing on. And coming from the areas that we came from, PTSD and anxiety, those are things that we got to deal with. Standing at the bus stop, you're going to worry about if that dude is going to rob you or not, if those group of cats are going to shoot you or not. Sitting at a light, is this dude going to try to carjack? Like, so it's a lot of PTSD that comes from, everybody who grows up in urban areas. So I was looking at a study, and it said that within the past year and a half or so, when this whole pandemic started, 4 out of 10 people were experiencing some type of mental health issue, whether it be anxiety or depression or, and it just made me think about, like, myself. I think everybody who has experienced this has developed some form of mental health disorder, if you will. So I just want to say to you, you're not alone in what you're going through. It's extremely common, but what's not common is the fact that you're willing to talk about it openly. And
Yeah.
for that, it requires a great amount of strength, a great deal of confidence within yourself to do something like that. And, you know, once again, 4 out of 10, I think it's more like 10 out of 10. You know,
Yes.
I think it's more like 100% young, old, middle-aged, black, white, tall, skinny, whatever, has experienced some sort of that. So I'm thankful to you for coming on my platform to sharing your story to help, hopefully, helping somebody else.
And something real quick I want to say real quicker. You know, when I was experiencing that, you know, I went to the doctor. You know, at first I didn't want to go to the doctor. So I'm like, no, I don't want them to think something wrong with me. I'm crazy. Then they're going to try to take my son. You know, so that my thoughts was just like all over the place. So I'm like, Monica, you know what? No, it's getting bad. So you have to go figure out what's going on, whatever. So, you know, I went to the doctor. I spoke to my primary care doctor about what was going on. And, you know, he's like, okay, well, I told him the symptoms I was having was going. He's like, okay, I'm going to write you a script, you know, give you some medication to take. Just take whenever you feel like, you know, you're about to have an episode, whatever, just take this and it'll relax you. So, you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, okay, perfect. Like, because we so quick to run to something to fix the problem. So he prescribed me the medicine. I took one pill. The night I took the pill, like, I was like, you must be out your mind. Like, my son, I couldn't play with my son. I didn't have no energy. I was just, like, I felt kind of worse, it seemed like. And I'm like, so wait, this is what they're giving us to try to fix what's going on? I'm like, nah, I'm like, this can't be it. And I kind of see how people get addicted to that because it takes away the pain so quick. So I see how people could just get addicted because they want that instant gratification. They want it to just go away. And I'm like, no, I refuse to feel like this, like for the rest of my life, or just to get, you know, this pain away. So I started to do my own research and just try to do my own remedies to try to figure out things that work. And come to find out, what works for me was things that was in my house. Things that was in my house. No medication, meditating, laying on my floor with a mat, taking 20 to 25 minutes for me just to relax, meditation, peppermint oil, lavender oil, things that I already had in the house. That's what actually helped me, not no medication. So sometimes things that when we looking for, you know, that fix or things to like help us with whatever the problem is that we're going through, sometimes it's right in front of us. Just because these doctors got their PhDs and all this, and they can prescribe this, we think, you know, and nothing wrong with those people who do take it, but that's not the only way to go. That's not the only route. Because sometimes what you need to fix you is right in front of your face. It's not no script. It's not no prescription.